Today, I'm going over my top 5 neighborhoods in El Dorado, California. Let's get into it. All right, so before we get started, as always, if you guys can do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, ding that notification bell. Got those new videos coming out for you every single week to discover Sacramento and Sacramento's metro area. Also, as much as we love making these videos, we would love to help you find your next dream home. So call the number down below, hit that 15-minute Zoom call, and let's get you going. Other than that, let's get into my top 5 neighborhoods in El Dorado Hills, California. My first neighborhood is going to be the Promontory. Now, I love this neighborhood. We got a lot of newer builds in there. They're actually still building out there. So if you want a new build, you got guys like Toll Brothers, a couple other companies that are out there right now building. But this neighborhood is actually going to offer a lot of different types of housing. We've got small townhomes with front yards that are taken care of by the HOA, to larger homes with tons of space, high ceilings, and beautiful views. So depending on what your heart desires, the Promontory really does offer a little bit for everybody. You can find things as low as the 700s and get into the multi-million dollars in there. The other thing about that area is they have one of the coolest parks I have ever been to. Now this thing not only has bocce courts, which I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, they also have a full-size tennis court. They've got a softball field out there, a huge green area to play. They of course have the kids play set, but the one thing that I love going out there, we even take the kids out there when we visit, is they actually have a water park for the kids to run around, and this is open to the public. So a lot of your neighbors, you're gonna see them down there during the summer months, especially playing bocce ball. You're gonna see them out there having a good time at the water park with their kids. You're gonna just see people really just enjoying themselves. The other thing, this neighborhood, depending on where you're at, because it kind of starts flat and then goes up from there, as you move up the hill, most of these houses have a view of Folsom Lake. So those sunsets that you are always hearing people talk about, this is one of those neighborhoods that you get to actually experience that. And when you walk into these houses and you see the high ceilings and you see just kind of the views that these builders set up to look out and see the surrounding area, you're gonna fall in love pretty quick. Other thing about the neighborhood is they have a lot of larger lots as you move up the hill. You also have a ton of walking trails. On these walking trails, with those views in mind, they've got a lot of benches along the way, tons of outdoor activities, and just the community itself. There is a ton of events. They have a 4th of July event. They also have community barbecue days, and they also are doing like movie nights out at that park. So if you're looking for maybe a newer type of house, if you want something a little bit called safer, even though you're in El Dorado Hills, which has some of the safest communities, you've got those gates there, you are going to love the Promontory. So let's just kind of take a look at this thing. Let's take a look at some of those views for you, and then we'll get on to the next neighborhood. All right, so let's get to number 2. Now these are in no particular order, so it's not best to least. These are properties or neighborhoods, I should say, that my clients have just really enjoyed, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from them. So my number 2 is gotta be Ridgeview. Now Ridgeview is a little different. Now this is actually on top of a hill. So Ridgeview, right? They've got this sweet little park on the very top of the hill, surrounded by oak trees. It's pretty much just a big green area for everyone to go out, play, and hit picnics up. Now the cool thing about this neighborhood is they've got older houses in the neighborhood. All of these houses are custom built. Downside is, depending on your lot, because we are on that ridge, is you may have a big lot, but you may not have a lot of usable land. But if you get one of the prime lots that are out there, you've got plenty of space to build on. There's people out there with pools on them. I've actually seen some pretty cool things where these guys are actually building out and down almost like these huge steps, so that even if they're on the ridge, they can have these beautiful pools. And again, views on this one's probably even better than the first neighborhood, just because you are so high on the hill that you are outlooking. Not only you can get views of Folsom Lake, but you can actually get views of all the way downtown Sacramento. So just a beautiful area altogether. So if you're looking for an older home, want good schools, not really wanting to be behind a gate because this is not a gated community, or if you just, you want to build, there are some people that are tearing down some of the older, smaller homes and building these massive homes out there, or mansions out there. So there's a lot of different activity going on. Ridgeview is really the place for you. I will say, every time I go out to Ridgeview, it's probably one of the nicest communities I've been to, meaning every single person I pass as I'm filming out there for you guys says, "Hi, how you doing?" And they cannot wait to give me more information about their neighborhood and why they love it so much. So sense of community is definitely there. You are up the hill, so I will say, as you're driving up, you can get a little bit windy from time to time, but not too bad. And then on the back side of that is you're just basically overlooking the foothills. So really, just depending on where you're at, you're gonna have a view. It just depends on what side of the ridge that you're actually on. Other cool thing that I like about the neighborhood is you're actually not too far from anything. You've got the town center right there, which we've talked about before, but remember, this has got your movie theaters. It's got tons of different places to eat. You've got your gas stations there. You got a lot of small businesses that are in there. You've got those luxury apartments that are right there. So if you want to get down the hill and real quickly get to some grocery shopping, Target and some other eateries are out there, it's not too far, where some of these other neighborhoods are kind of spread out a little bit, so it would take you a minute to get to that town center for you. Just a beautiful place all around. Check it out, kind of some of these views here. They are spectacular. All right, number 3. So for our third neighborhood, this is probably one of the most exciting neighborhoods. When you walk in there, you feel like you just rolled into a Hollywood dream set. And this is going to be Summit and Waterford. Now, these are large, and I mean large, luxury properties. Okay, all these houses are on some sort of a hill. You have views galore, huge, and I'm talking huge lots. Some of these things are almost as large as estates, and this whole community sits behind a gate. Okay, this is a guarded gate. They're not going to let everybody into here. They have a private playground in there. They have a whole barbecue area for the neighbors and everyone to use. They also have what I think is some of the coolest trails, just because of how hilly it is. And so basically you can take this, I think it's called the Hathaway Trail. You can take this thing down and out to the Folsom Lake recreational area. So literally you just take your trail, go out there, get your e-bike and go right down and have a good time. For community events, they got the ice cream social, which I've been to. Excellent. They know how to throw an event, let me tell you that. In October, they're doing the Oktoberfest. These guys go all out. They got your brats out there. They got beer flowing for you. They're going to have hot dogs grilling. They got the fruit platters going, potato salad, and German music going off like crazy. And then since it's on October, you also of course have the pumpkin fest that they're doing at the same time for all the kids. They can go out there, paint and carve their pumpkins. So like I say, they probably throw some of the best events that I've ever been to, especially for a neighborhood event. Now, because we are in a HOA community, HOA I believe right now is right around 175, 180. That of course is going to take care of that park. That of course is going to take care of the front gate and management, and then of course a lot of the greenbelt areas that you have within the community. Now these houses are large and in charge, so they are multi-million-dollar properties. If you want that privacy and you've got the money for it, there might not be a better area for you than Summit and Waterford. All right, neighborhood number 4 is gonna be Blackstone. Now, Blackstone is a newer neighborhood. They're gonna be on the south end of Dorado Hills. It's a newer community. It's about 990 acres, and this is all just a huge master plan. I think it's got like a 10,000 square foot clubhouse. It's actually called The Club. It features 3 different pools, okay? You've got the main pool, you've got a kid's pool, and then your lap pool out there. This is gonna have a fitness center. They actually do yoga out there. They have a playroom for kids. They have a large playroom outside for kids. Plus, they have their multi-purpose room with a kitchen. I believe that is a little extra if you want to use it, but you just book it through them. They will set it up for you so you're all set, whether it's birthday parties, retirement events, anything like that. All right, so there is an HOA out there. You're gonna see a lot of HOAs actually in the El Dorado area, just because a lot of people that live up there, they do really want their privacy. They want that extra layer of protection. In this area, you're gonna be about 138 on the HOA. That's gonna take care of course, that clubhouse for you, gate, and also the management company. So just note, there are going to be Melloruses on top of that HOA fee or your monthly payment. Now that gets kind of, well, depends on how you want to do it, but that usually is going to get sucked up into your monthly payment for you. But those are going to be there for quite a long time still because it's a newer neighborhood. Now, the other cool thing about this neighborhood, or where I should say the neighborhood's located at, one, you have, of course, the public schools. I believe they're in the Buckeye area, but a lot of people are choosing to take their kids to a local charter school that's around there, which is probably one of the highest rating charter schools I've seen. You can look that up on greatschools.org. I'll leave a link on the bottom here for you, or if you just want more info, reach out and I'll send it directly to you. Other than that, this area still has some building going on. For the most part, the main area, the main hub around the clubhouse, all that's been built out, but you are seeing some spots here and there actually still under development. All right, so we're gonna get to our last one. Last one I'm gonna mention, it's gotta be in there. The reason is it's probably the most popular area, and I would say 80% of my clients end up going there, and that's gonna be Serrano. Now, Serrano, when you enter this area, it's beautiful. As soon as you come in, there's a few houses on the bottom, but you just start headed straight up a hill. You feel like you just went somewhere else. I mean, the streets are just filled with trees, Beautiful landscaping throughout. I mean, some of the greenest greens you've seen. Of course, this is all surrounded by the Serrano Country Club, which is also beautiful in itself. Now, the cool thing I like about Serrano's is you really do get to choose what kind of home you want. First, when you're first entering Serrano, you have a lot of just single family homes. These are going to be somewhere between 1,500 up to about 1,800 square foot. Very standard homes, nothing custom about it. They are going to be behind gates. They have these beautiful lush parks inside of these communities. But as you move up the hill, the houses just get better and better and bigger as you get up to the top. There's, I believe, almost like 17 or 18 miles of just straight trails, and these are good trails. I mean, I'm talking, you're gonna see wildlife out there. You go from pavement to some dirt, and again, beautifully manicured. They have two things going on. One, you've got the gates, right? So you do have an HOA in the area, but the other thing is they also have a roaming security. So no matter which pocket of the neighborhoods you're in, you're gonna have roaming security that goes around at all times of the day and at night, and they are quick to get somebody. I remember I did an open house there. This was probably about a year ago, and you know, I guess I was suspicious vehicle, and I'm kind of walking around, jumping in and out of my truck, trying to put out some open house signs. As I'm jumping in and out, here comes two security guards asking me just a ton of different questions about why I was there, what I was doing. It got to the point where I'm like, look, here's my card. Follow me to the house. You'll see the house I'm doing an open house at. But very responsive. That's what I really liked about it. So Serrano's gonna have actually two different HOAs. First one is going to run right around 280. Now 280 is going to be for your common areas, for your gate, for that roaming security, take care of the parks that are in the area, some of the road maintenance that needs to happen, and get this, also it's going to take care of your front yard. That's right, they actually go out there, they mow it, they trim it, leaving the neighborhoods beautiful. Now, I will say, I've had some clients go into the area, and once they got there and realized the rules and regulations that Serrano has to keep it looking the way it does, they didn't too much appreciate it or like it. But if you're someone who just really just likes to keep up on stuff, and I'm even talking about if you got paint peeling on the front of the house, you may get a notice saying, hey, you need to fix that, and the board needs to approve that. So there's pluses and minuses with this, right? But it keeps that neighborhood, as you can see, really, really beautiful and lush. So, and that is going to be for just kind of your, basically your standard homes that are out there. That's where you're going to have to pay that $280. Now, if you actually have one of the larger custom homes, that $280 actually drops to $180. The big reason is they're not taking care of your front yard. Still, it's paying for the trails, paying for the roaming, security guards, paying for the gates, some of the road maintenance, of course. But just know that that's kind of the difference. So if you're in one of the larger homes, the custom homes, even some of the semi-custom homes are at that $180. You are going to have to take care of, though, that front yard. But then again, those lots are just so much bigger than some of these other lots that you're seeing in the standard homes that are being built. That's all I got for you guys. That is my top 5 neighborhoods in El Dorado Hills. I absolutely love it every single time I go up there. I will say one of the cool things too, just a side note, whether you're hanging out in that town center or you're walking those trails, there is wildlife all over the place. So every time I go up there, I'm hitting wild turkeys. Probably, I would say almost every other time, I'm hitting some sort of deer out there. And then El Dorado Hills, you gotta remember too, is unincorporated. So a lot of things are still really spread out in El Dorado County. So you will need a vehicle to get from place to place. You probably going to need a vehicle to get to like the high school if you've got kids and you're living in one of these neighborhoods. It is a little bit of a distance. The other thing to note is Dorado Hills, they want that small town feeling. So I know, I don't even think it's even happened, but I know Costco want to build there. I believe that the community has basically kind of shut that down just because you can go to Folsom and grab your Costco stuff. They're very particular about who they let into the community just because they want that small town feel, even though they have all the amenities in the world in that area. Anyways, that's what I've got for you guys. If you guys want more information on any of those particular neighborhoods or some of the new ones that are coming out, please reach out. Let me know how I can help you. We'd love to get you out there and help you on that journey. We'll see you on the next one.